We are joined with newly appointed head coach of the North Central University men's basketball program, Coach Dan DeWitt. Coach, officially welcome to your new home. How are you?
Thanks, and I'm great. I'm in Minneapolis, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, so the announcement was made about a little over a week and a half ago. I know you got to tie up some loose ends and find a way for you and your family to get down here. What's that transition been like for you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to finish out the year at Bethany Lutheran, finish out the school year with some of the duties that I have there. But yeah, it's been a transition process. It's been busy. It's been a lot of work. Kind of doing my work there at Bethany Lutheran during the day and starting on the things that I got to do here at night. But yeah, we're looking for a place to live, trying to take care of some of those life things. But it's been good. It's been good.
So you take over their job mid to late April. You know, with recruiting the beast that it is, getting to know, new guys and new team, it's a lot and can be a lot stepping in this late in the process. What's been the first step for you in this process?
Well, you touched on priority number 1 and 2 just there in the question, and priority number 1 for me was to get to know the current players on the team, start to build those relationships, and I've been able to be here a little bit and set up meetings with them and get to know them, and I just think that that's really important, that they need to know who I am, and I need a chance to get to know them, and more than just what they can do on the basketball court, but getting to know them as people as well. And then priority number 2 has been recruiting. And for us, it's trying to get some players out of this 2019 class still. And so there's been a bunch of phone calls and text messages out to coaches and just trying to figure out who's interested. And at the same time, we're trying to get a jump on next year with the 2020 class as well. And so AU basketball now is in full swing. And so it's been busy, but again, it's been really good.
You mentioned that you were at Bethany right now, been there for the last 2 seasons, coaching on staff under head coach Matt Fletcher. You've also been recently a head coach at Mayville, had some other experiences as well that have brought you to this point. Kind of speak to those and to that journey and to some big lessons that you kind of take into this new position.
Well, to begin with, yeah, I grew up in a basketball family. I mean, my dad is a college coach currently and was a high school coach for many years as well. And I've got siblings that coach college basketball and played college basketball. And so I kind of just grew up around it, And so that part of it has just, probably really instilled the love of the game and, kind of got me going on this path, I guess. But out of high school, going to Northern State University, having the chance to play for legendary coach Don Meyer for 4 years, that was just an unbelievable experience. Just going through his program day in and day out, just being around him and the lessons that he was teaching me, not only as a basketball player, but as a person, that's certainly been huge in my journey. And from there, 2 years as a graduate assistant with the Minnesota Gophers under Tubby Smith, 1 year as an assistant coach at St. Cloud State under Kevin Schlegel. And so I've had some unbelievable coaching experiences to work with those 3 guys, to play for and to work with those guys. And I think that the thing that they all have different ways that they approach coaching and different philosophies, but I think the thing that they all have in common is that they really cared about their players and they cared about the people that they worked with. And so I think no matter what you do in coaching, that has to be priority number 1. And the 5 years that I had at Mayville State, as a head coach, were just invaluable. And you can't really put a price tag on that. And all, the weight of all the decisions that goes into being a head coach, and you're making setting the course for your program. You're setting the vision. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to put your ideas into practice and into work. But there's obviously a lot of weight that comes with that and a lot of responsibility too. So those 5 years that I had as a head coach, I'm certainly going to be able to prepare me and take those lessons into this job. But for the last 2 years being with Coach Fletcher down at Bethany Lutheran, it's just, it was awesome. I mean, he's a great friend of mine. Getting to see a different offensive approach to the game was really good for me, but also just seeing too the way that he was able to go in and sort of change things in that program and raise the expectations and hold players accountable to a higher standard, and obviously it's translated well onto the court for them, and so that was really beneficial for me.
So as you make this transition to North Central, you actually get to stay within the conference, very well in the UMAC. and you get to play that friend you mentioned, Coach Fletcher, twice a year. What's that like for you?
Yeah, well, first of all, just being here in the UMAC conference is awesome. You know, I know so many of these coaches, and it's a great conference, and it's great basketball. And so I think being familiar with this league is really going to sort of shorten the learning curve in terms of knowing what other teams have as far as players go, what other teams like to do on offense and defense. You know, the type of players that we're going to have to recruit and bring into our program to be at the top. So that's really, I think, to my advantage that you know, I've got this experience in the UMAC. You know, but now to get to go against Coach Fletcher for 2 games a year. I mean, that's, you know, we've played against each other growing up. I mean, you know, starting in youth basketball through high school, you know, when he was at North Branch and I was at Centennial. College basketball, he was at Southwest State, I was at Northern State. So we've always been able to play against each other. Now we get to coach against each other. And I think that's going to be a really cool experience. I mean, I'm hoping that there's going to be some good games between the Rams and the Vikings.
The North Central basketball program has experienced, you know, some success in the last couple of years, has played in the conference tournament a few times. Rams basketball under head coach Dan DeWitt, what does that look like?
We're going to get after it. I mean, I think that starts every single day on the practice floor. You know, we're going to compete. You know, we want to recruit and tough-minded players into our program and to really have that competitiveness. But honestly, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, that's where the fun of college basketball comes. You know, every single day, from just getting after it in practice and going through a season with your teammates and knowing that you gave everything you had to be the best that you could be. To me, that's where the fun comes. You know, we're really excited to build this program, to lay a foundation with the current players and with the recruits that we're going to have coming in for future years. And it doesn't matter whether we have a player now for 1 year or whether he's in our program for 4 years, that we hope that all the players that play with us and have played for North Central in the past really feel a connection to this program. You know, we really want to open our doors to them, and you know, it doesn't matter you know, if it's 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years out. You know, we want them to feel like they can come back and be a part of our program, and so that connection, that connectedness within our team is something that we're really going to try to establish as well.
Well, we're very excited for you, very excited for the program. I'm sure October can't come soon enough. Congrats again, Coach. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Again, that's new head coach Dan DeWitt.